You know what's really cool about reloading your own ammunition? I mean, cool for people that get into tinkering around with things like propellants and explosive primers and things of that nature. It's that when you set up with reloading equipment, you basically are giving yourself a part-time job, and it's a job where you get to be not only the laborer, but you get to be the quality control manager, the secretary, purchasing manager, even the president and CEO. Yeah, CEO. And I get stuck sweeping the floor. Yeah, that's what happens when you knock a full tray of primers onto the floor. You get to be janitor. Yeah, well, I shouldn't always get the crummy jobs. Last week I sorted all that brass there. Hey, you guys want to keep it down in there? I'm trying to do a video and I'd like to be able to do it in one take. If you're into guns and shooting, you're probably already aware of the increasing popularity of ultrasonics. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some idea of whether or not you think it might be something that you'd consider getting into or adding to your reloading operation. Using a vibratory case cleaner to clean all my brass has worked fine for me for the last 20 years. But when I took up reloading the tiny little 5.7 by 28 millimeter cartridge, I had a small dilemma. These little casings are made with a clear coating that allows them to feed and extract reliably in the FN57 pistol and PS90 carbine, so they cannot be tumble cleaned as usual without damaging that thin layer of plastic. And scraping out the primer pockets followed by washing them by hand just wasn't giving me the results I wanted. So I finally purchased a heated ultrasonic cleaner, on sale for $80 from Harbor Freight Tools. Time, temperature, and the type of cleaning fluid are the three elements that affect the ultrasonic cleaning process. For efficient operation, only distilled water should be used. And though there are a lot of home concoctions listed on the internet, Hornady makes an ultrasonic cleaning product that is specifically formulated for firearms casings. It is a bit expensive at $20 per quart, but the mixing ratio is 40:1. So at full strength, the cost of this reusable solution is about $2 per gallon. You might recognize this unit as the same 160 watt, 2.5 liter digital heated ultrasonic cleaner sold in the $100 price range under a variety of brand names including Lyman. The good thing about paying a little more for the Lyman brand is that it comes with a nice loading basket instead of a thin tray. To prevent damage to the unit, items must not be allowed to contact the bottom of the tank in any ultrasonic cleaner, and having a basket means not having to reach into the dirty cleaning solution to fish around for items that you can't see. Tabletop ultrasonic cleaners operate by generating sound waves which are transmitted through the cleaning solution by one or more transducers fastened to the bottom of the stainless steel tank. The energy created by these transducers is typically rated in watts. The greater the liquid volume, the more ultrasonic energy is required to do the work of cleaning. A good ultrasonic power ratio for industrial applications is 50 to 100 watts per gallon of fluid. From my experience, these low-cost ultrasonic cleaners will work just fine if the user doesn't mind long cleaning sessions of only a handful of brass at a time and having to constantly press buttons to reset the timer. Because I like the idea of having a machine that cleans every trace of carbon from my brass, both inside and out, I decided to go with a commercial quality ultrasonic cleaner with the power to handle some serious quantities of brass. This is the Crest Ultrasonic CP1200-D, 2.5 gallon tabletop model with the programmable heater and timer. Some models have a degas feature which greatly increases cleaning efficiency by removing bound gas bubbles from the cleaning fluid. In this mode, the transducers are periodically switched on and off, which allows trapped air to escape during the sonic off period. For my first brass cleaning trial with the new machine, I chose a batch of more than 480 pieces of assorted 223 range brass that included some very badly carbon-stained casings that had been fired from a fluted chamber. These were run through my single stage press using a universal decapping die and given a quick soapy wash and rinse by hand in a plastic container to remove the heavy dirt. They were then cycled in the ultrasonic cleaner with the heater turned on for 4 minutes using a half-strength solution of Hornady one-shot ultrasonic cleaner mixed 80-1 with distilled water. An important difference when comparing a commercial model like this to the Harbor Freight variety is that they not only are capable of producing the sort of power necessary to chug through several hundred casings at a time, but they do it without having to stir the brass throughout the cleaning cycle. Crest Ultrasonic cleaners use technology that eliminates hot spots and dead areas inside the tank by continuously varying the transducer frequency. Different frequencies of sonic cavitation are optimum for different sized particles and openings, so sweep frequency cleaning works on the microscopic surface of an object for more efficient cleaning. After the first inspection, the cycle time was increased and the brass inspected every 8 minutes, paying particular attention to the amount of carbon present in the primer pocket. Brass just happens to be a material that readily absorbs ultrasonic energy, so filling a basket with almost 500 rounds of rifle brass is no small cleaning task. After cycling the casings for a total of 32 minutes, I decided they looked good. Next, the brass was rinsed, drained, and placed in individual containers with fresh distilled water for a final 8-minute ultrasonic rinse to remove all traces of chemical cleaners. One of the neat things about this process is that the energy transmits directly through containers made of plastic, metal, or in this case, glass canning jars. Brass can be dried quickly without annealing in a conventional oven if it's spread in a shallow pan and set to bake for a few minutes at the oven's lowest setting. When the brass is dry, it's ready to be processed as usual, or it can be run through the buzz bucket with some treated corn cob polishing media for a brighter shine. The nice thing about vibratory polishing of clean brass is that there's virtually no risk of airborne contamination from the toxic lead stiffnate residue that is normally present in fired ammunition casings. This toxin should especially be a concern if you ever have infants or children in the house because of their high susceptibility to lead poisoning. An optional final ultrasonic rinse cycle for the processed brass will ensure that all the sizing lube is removed and that there is virtually no trace of abrasive polish left inside the casings that can accelerate throat erosion in your precision rifle barrel. You might be wondering why I chose such a large machine when a smaller, less expensive model could accomplish the same work. Well, for me, shooting and reloading is just my thing, so I make no apology there. But once you reach a certain tank size, a very desirable feature appears: a drain valve. What could be nicer than not having to unplug and tip the unit every single time you want to remove the fluid? Also, if you look at the tank dimensions of this CP1200-D, you'll notice that it's long and skinny enough to accommodate other interesting items that a guy might have laying around the house that could use a nice hot ultrasonic bath every so often. Specialized non-toxic gun cleaners and even ultrasonic lubricants are available for a level of firearms cleaning that is normally only available to armorers and gunsmiths. But that'll be covered in a future video. So I hope you found this interesting, and if you're shopping for an ultrasonic cleaner for your own reloading operation, just remember, you're the boss. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching the KGB 65.